But some parts of the fight for equality can be uncomfortable to remember.
Of course, and tonight in a special report, News Channel 20's Kyra Willis takes a closer look at the formation of what were known as sundown towns in Illinois.
Historians say that a sundown town is a town or city that intentionally kept people of color, specifically Black Americans, out of their town after sundown, with several documented sundown towns right here in Illinois. I sat down with a history professor to learn more about these communities and their impact.
They emerged to promote and protect white wealth, white property, and whiteness.
That's how African-American history professor Eric McDuffie describes sundown towns. He says these communities historically began in the late 1800s, after the end of the Civil War and slavery.
Sundown towns were very much a response to Black migration, Black mobility, Black upward mobility, Black resistance. Black people searching for new lives, new opportunities, a determination to be free.
According to McDuffie, the name Sundown Town stems from signs some cities put up warning Black Americans to get out of town before sundown.
So it's not just a kind of psychological fear or opposition to Black people, but again, a way to control white resources and money.
McDuffie says the large majority of sundown towns were created in regions where Black people didn't normally live, like the Midwest, Appalachia, and out west.
They also ranged. There's a kind of myth that sundown towns were only in kind of rural, isolated places. No, they were suburbs.
Sundown towns would usually emerge after a Black person was accused of a crime, leading the white population to place blame on the entire Black community and force them out, mainly through violence and arson,
including rape and sexual violence, to keep Black people in their place, to keep Black people spatially segregated and separated from white people.
McDuffie goes on to say that these communities use both legal and violent means to keep their population mostly white. McDuffie says having conversations about sundown towns is crucial to the progression of this country.
And if we deny the racism, if we deny the violence, if we deny the economic segregation, apartheid, that we are very much, again, helping to maintain these systems of racial and structural inequality.
McDuffie says that while racial segregation is now illegal and most former sundown towns don't have discriminatory ordinances in place anymore, many of these towns are still predominantly white. In the studio, I'm Kyra Willis. Back to you.
Thank you, Kyra. And while things like sundown towns and segregation seem like the distant past, there are still plenty of people who lived through them. And tomorrow in part 2 of our special report, we hear the stories of 2 Springfield residents and their experiences with sundown towns in Illinois.
Thanks for watching. Stick around by subscribing today and don't miss a single video.